Welcome back to Network Associates Coliseum. To keep us updated on this AFC Championship from the field, Armin Katayan and Bonnie Bernstein will patrol the sidelines. Armin is with Oakland head coach Bill Callahan.
Coach, you were the offensive coordinator on a team, the Raiders team, that lost to the Ravens 2 years ago. What did you learn from that experience that might spell the difference today?
Well, the big thing is that we've got to start fast, obviously, but we've got to establish our physical presence. That's the main thing.
All right, Coach, thank you. Now let's go to the other sideline where Bonnie Bernstein is with Jeff Fisher, the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Bonnie?
Talking to a lot of the players today, Jeff, they echo the same sentiment. Nobody's giving your team a shot. How did you address that with your team?
Well, we're here, aren't we? I mean, that gives us as good a shot as any, and really nobody gave Tampa Bay a shot either. So, you know, we're here, and we're excited to be here, and we're not going to lay down for anybody. We're going to play hard. I like our chances.
Coach, thank you. Greg?
Bonnie, thank you, and that epitomizes exactly the personality of the Tennessee Titans. They follow their head coach, Jeff Fisher. The Raiders have won the toss, and they've elected to receive. Joe Nedney will kick it away. Marcus Knight is deep for the Raiders, number 83. The Raiders, 12-5. The Titans, 12-5. The winners to meet the Tampa Bay Bucks. Knight at his own 5-yard line. 25 and out to the 30 and just across the 30-yard line. Rich Gannon, the quarterback, the league MVP. The ball just over the 30-yard line. Charlie Garner, the single back behind Gannon, and he's in motion on first down. Quick slant, that's complete. Jerry Rice to midfield, gets a block. To the 40-yard line of the Tennessee Titans, brought down by Keith Bullock, 29 yards on the pickup.
Well, you heard Bill Callahan say to Armin Katayan, we want to start fast. You get man coverage by the Titans, 5-wide receiver look. Not only they get the first big play, the Oakland Raiders going with the no-huddle offense.
He beats Samari Roll to the inside.
I got you.
Rich Gannon's looking at the defense. Now he's changing the play.
Brown in motion, crosses the field. Gannon with time, hits Brown. Inside the 30, it'll be a first down for the Raiders. Samari Roll with the tackle. And again, the Raiders going no huddle.
Well, Greg, we were here last week. They struggled a little in the first half because they ran the football. In the second half, they opened it up. They had wonderful success. So they don't want to keep, they want to get this game over with as fast as they can and take the Titans out.
Gannon, far sideline, that's complete, and hit immediately after he caught it was Charlie Garner. 91 receptions out of the backfield on the season.
You know, you look at this Tennessee Titan defense. I don't know if they're caught by surprise by the no huddle, but Jeff Fisher said we want to challenge them. We want to get up to the receivers on them, play man-to-man defense. They did the first play, and Jerry Rice ripped them for a long game.
2nd and 4. Quick pass, complete. Inside the 15, inside the 10, go about the 8 is Tim Brown. It'll be 1st and goal, Oakland.
It's just so hard to defend the whole football field. Tim Brown outside. Lance Schulter's watching Rich Gannon. He spots the receiver and throws the football before Lance Schulters can even react to it.
Gannon 4 out of 4 for 61 yards on this opening drive.
This makes it hard for the defensive lineman to get a pass rush. Start of the game, having to chase the quarterback and try to get to him every play.
5th straight pass. Pump fake, pulls it down, he's going to run to about the 5. Rich Cody coming up from the secondary. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, what a good start by the Oakland Raiders. But just talking to Jeff Fisher, look at it this way. If they can just hang in there on defense and make them kick a field goal, it'll be a big plus for the Tennessee Titans. Jeff Fisher said, I want to see Sebastian Janikowski on the field today.
Charlie Garner back behind Gannon. 2nd and goal, they'll give to Garner. Garner takes the first hit and moves to about the 4, maybe the 3. It'll be 3rd and goal. Schulter's coming up for the stop. And Jeff Fisher also told us, he says, you know the Oakland Raiders are going to score. What I want to see our guys do when they score is I want to see us answer.
That's right. And they came with the blitz that time. Tank Williams, the safety, came running through there and disrupted the run and puts the Raiders in a pretty tough situation. 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Just another of the many records Jerry Rice owns. 3rd and goal. Gannon with time. Lots of time. Throws, end zone, touchdown. Jerry Porter. The Raiders made that look easy.
Well, what they did this time, the defense covers everybody, but nobody able to get pressure even get close to Rich Gannon. Wow, what a throw. That was tight. Rich Gannon snuck it in there, though.
Janikowski's extra point is good. Jerry Porter, 9 touchdown catches on the season. 1 against the Jets last week. Registers his 2nd postseason TD catch here today.
Well, the Raiders come out so fast. We didn't even get to talk about what each team wants to do, but we heard so much from the Tennessee Titans how they were going to pressure Rich Gannon this game. Something they didn't do back early in the season, but that first drive, nobody got close to putting pressure on him, making him hurry up. Tremendous opening drive by the Oakland Raiders.
Sebastian Janikowski, the best in the NFL at putting it into the end zone on kickoff. Back to receive, number 86, Justin McCarron. Number 45, John Simon, is alongside him. See the numbers for McCarron. So Tennessee with their first opportunity on offense coming up. From the 7, it's Simon. 20, spinning across the 25 to about the 26, and let's go back to the TD.
Yeah, let's look at it. Here's Jerry Porter, number 84, and just watch the Raider receivers. They're covered. Tennessee's got a good idea what they want to do, but you can't cover from that long. Watch the protection that Rich Gannon is afforded. Tennessee defenders go on the ground, and Rich Gannon moves a little, finds the open receiver for the touchdown.
So now Steve McNair and the Titans will try to answer their first possession. Eddie George, little room to run, breaks it out across the 35, 2nd and 1. Quick drop, quick throw, and that is complete to the 40-yard line, and there is a first down to Derek Mason. Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator of the Raiders. The line of scrimmage, the Tennessee 40-yard line. Eddie George and Mike Green in the backfield. George. A couple before Barton and Sam Adams make the stop, and all eyes are going to be on those two guys. Eddie George, who was knocked unconscious in the playoff game a week ago, and also Steve McNair, who is battling an injured right thumb, and he said, frankly, it hurts when I take a snap.
Well, it looks like it hurts, and Jeff Fisher, he doesn't know what to expect from Eddie George either. He told us yesterday, I just want to get 40 yards out of Eddie George.
On 2nd and 8, George tries the right side. Eric Barton again with a stop.
But he also said, Greg, I want to get 40 yards rushing out of Steve McNair too. He thinks that's very important for his football team. They always play well when their quarterback scrambles for some yards. And also, Robert Holcombe, he'd like to see him be the main runner for him today.
Robert Holcombe, number 35, has come into the game, and he's in the backfield. There is the right hand of Steve McNair.
He threw the ball very well warming up today. I watched him the whole time. That thumb did not look like it bothered him.
Blitz. McNair throws, and that's complete. Frank Wycheck, the tight end, bouncing off a tackler across midfield, and we have penalty markers in the backfield where McNair is pulling himself off the turf. Our referee is Ed Hockley. I believe he's going to say Steve McNair has been treated unkindly.
Then why are they bringing the football back? So that's what I'm waiting to hear.
At the end of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness offense, number 71. It's a 15-yard penalty enforced from the dead ball spot. It will be 1st and 10 after enforcement.
It's the right tackle, Fred Miller. There is Miller coming up with a hit on Romanowski.
Well, it's just a little push down by Fred Miller because he believes Romanowski and the Raiders took Steve McNair down wrongly, which it was not. It was a clean takedown by the Raiders defense. But when you blitz Steve McNair, which they did that time, they had a free runner coming at him, but still he did not panic. He took his time. He had Frank Wycheck with the completion and picked up the first down.
8:15 to play in the first quarter.
Hey, well, Steve McNair, Greg, he got what he wanted. He told us yesterday, I like to take a big hit early because it just gets rid of all the tension and the nerves that I have in me early in the football game. That's a pretty good hit he took.
McNair throwing. That's complete. Derek Mason to about the 43-yard line, maybe the 44.
Now, as we said in the opening, this is not the Tennessee Titan defense that you've watched over the years. They like to throw the football. And Steve McNair is going to drop back. Even when he's under pressure, he is very tough to sack.
Number 85, Derek Mason, coming across the field. And he is their playmaker among the wideouts.
Yeah, and the Tennessee Titans will spread it out a lot today and just see how the Oakland defense reacts to it.
Straight up the middle, Eddie George, midfield and into Oakland territory at about the 47-yard line. Go back to Steve McNair for a moment, because there have been questions all week long, in fact all season long. Here's a guy who for maybe the last 6 weeks simply did not practice. He just shows up on Sunday and not only plays, he plays very well.
You know, it's not all bad, because I talked to him about it yesterday. The one thing it does in helping him, he's always fresh with his legs and mentally, because he's not grinding out the practices during the week. He's played long enough where he can get away with this.
They spread the field on first down. The pass outside, complete to Aaron Kinney, tight end, and he has enough for a first down. And number 69, Zach Pillar, has called for a replacement and is about to limp off the field.
There's Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator.
There's Pillar in his 4th season out of Florida, and really wasn't able to limp off the field. Is down on a knee at midfield. Zach Pillar has been replaced at left guard by number 67, Tom Ackerman. So Pillar taken to the sideline. We'll check on his status. Play fake. McNair slips down, rights himself, throwing deep down the sideline. Touchdown! Drew Bennett, 33 yards, and with an extra point, Jeff Fisher's Titans can pull even.
Jeff Fisher told us yesterday, everybody thinks Drew Bennett cannot get down the field, and he goes, he has snuck behind a lot of good corners in this league. Steve McNair, tremendous job slipping down and getting back up, and he throws a strike for the touchdown.
Nedney for the extra point. And it's perfect. 5:59 to play in the first quarter.
Well, let's watch Drew Bennett, what he does to Charles Woodson. Top of your screen. Drew Bennett's going to go down the field. They want to test Woodson deep. Watch the double move. One move, second move. Charles Woodson gets turned completely around. What did Jeff Fisher say? Charles Woodson is not 100%, and he struggles changing direction.
Marcus Knight deep for the kick. This will be Knight from the 3. 25. Penalty markers fly as he is brought down across the 30-yard line. We have yet to see an incomplete pass.
Different defense by Tennessee. Only 3 defensive linemen. Trying to confuse the Raiders, and it did.
False start, offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty, it's still first down.
That's the rookie Doug Jolley.
I shouldn't say it confused him, Greg. What it did, Rich Gannon, who prides himself in never running the play that's not going to give his team a chance to have success, he saw the defensive change, so he's calling an audible, and guys just get nervous when you keep them at the line of scrimmage too long, so they usually jump off sides.
So now it's a 1st and 15. Gannon going to run and sliding down close to the 15-yard line. Gannon got 4 yards back. It's 2nd and 11. Sidearm pass, that's complete near side. Charlie Garner, and Garner has enough for a first down. Phil, you and I were talking yesterday about that sidearm delivery by Rich Gannon, and that was it in all of its glory.
Oh yeah, he creates passing lanes for himself. He's inside, just goes back on his back foot, which gives him the power to throw it sidearm. And I think Randall Godfrey just found out this Charlie Garner is quick.
Garner to the sideline, Wheatley in his place. Gannon comes to the near side, right over the middle, and wide open is John Ritchie. And Ritchie out across the 45, another first down for the Raiders.
Well, the Tennessee Titans had 4 defensive linemen in. They couldn't pressure the quarterback. Now they have 3, blitz a linebacker, and nobody close to Rich Gannon. Easy for him to find the open receiver, who is John Ritchie.
Gannon had just 94 yards throwing in the first half against the Jets last week. He's got 96 already here in the first quarter. Looking to add more, pulls it down, on the move. Midfield, 45 and out of bounds, and enough for a first down.
Well, we talk about this Raiders offensive line. Javon Curse told me something I haven't heard, and I've been doing football games for 8 years. He says when we played the Raiders back early in the season, their offensive linemen were laughing at us. Laughing at one of the best pass rushing defensive lines in football. Because what they were doing was just running in and trying to overpower Oakland's offensive linemen, and that is impossible to do because of their size.
Didn't get the playoff in time. Play clock wound down. And it'll be a delay of game call against Oakland.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, it's still first down.
So Greg, the story is, just think how good you got to be and how much self-confidence you have to laugh at people like Javon Curse. Now this Albert Haynesworth, Carlos Hall, John Thornton, Henry Ford's a backup, all are excellent pass rushers. They couldn't do it the first time against the Raiders, and they're off to a terrible start today.
Kevin Carter comes in with 10 sacks on the season.
Well, left Kevin Carter out.
1st and 15. Gannon lofts one, far side. Diving catch by Jerry Porter. Rolls over in pain. Looks like he might have landed on the football, but it's a completion inside the 20.
If you're going to come up and challenge the Raider wide receivers, Rich Gannon's going to look for the biggest and fastest guy on his offensive weapons, and that is Jerry Porter going against Donald Mitchell. That is a tough assignment for Mitchell, and a terrific catch by Jerry Porter.
I'm questioning whether that ball might have bounced off the turf before complete possession.
Hands are under, hand is under. And it took a while for Jerry Porter to get up because he fell on the football. but it looked like his hand was underneath the whole time.
Terrific looking catch by Porter, who, as we said, had an outstanding season. 9 TD catches to lead the team.
You judge it. Left hand hits on the arm. The football looks like it never hits the ground at any time.
Marcus Knight, number 83, has come on to replace Porter, and now Jeff Fisher is going to make the first challenge of the day.
It's a good challenge.
Although the receiver bobbled the ball as he was going down, it does not appear that the ball ever hit the ground. There clearly is not conclusive proof that the ball hit the ground. It looked like the hand was under there. With no conclusive proof, the ruling on the field stands. It's a completed pass. Tennessee is charged with a timeout.
Not enough to overturn the call on the field, says Ed Hockley. Jerry Porter coming off to the sideline.
Oh, that was well explained. Look what Rich Gannon has done so far.
Garner in the backfield. Gannon on first down. Time to throw, and now running out. On the move, throws sideline, complete to Tim Brown. So Gannon buying himself some time, and now we have a marker down.
One of the linemen snuck down the field.
The flag was for an ineligible downfield. However, he legally reported to a legal position. Therefore, there's no foul on the play. Second down.
Hockley is leading the league in explanations today, isn't
Well,
he?
he's talking about Langston Walker, 66. The Raiders put him in there, and they want you to always think, since they're putting a 6'8", I don't know, let's just guess 350-pound lineman in, that you're going to run the football, but it's about 50-50. They throw it half the time, and they run it the other half.
2nd and 6. Gannon flips over the middle. That's complete. Garner inside the 5 to the end zone. We have a marker down. The signal is a touchdown, and let's check the flag. Raiders are confident it's against Tennessee. A little disagreement at midfield. And big Frank Middleton, who was in the middle of everything with the Jets, is in the middle of it here with the Titans.
Well, Frank Middleton can talk it, but he backs it up. He was tremendous last week.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense, number 31. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
Well, now it's ruled a first down, but there was one official on the near side of the field that ruled touchdown, and now they say it is touchdown. So the Raiders take the lead on the 12-yard touchdown by Garner and Janikowski to add the extra point.
Point after is good. 2:47 remaining.
Rich Gannon, 5 for 5 and a touchdown on the first drive, 5 for 5 and a touchdown on the second drive. The league MVP and his numbers on the day.
The fantasy numbers.
Janikowski kicks. From the 7-yard line, John Simon. 25. Tripped up and is down at the 28-yard line by Tim Johnson. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Yeah, Greg, let's do. Here's Charlie Garner. Rich Gannon thought the Titans were going to blitz, but when he sees the defensive players go backwards, he goes, okay, it's not a blitz. So he looks to Charlie Garner, who's sneaking out of the backfield. And Rich Gannon says a lot of times he checked and changed that play. But as you do it, the Titans defense changes its defense. And he goes, they're not going to catch me doing that, because we'll always have that outward receiver. That was Charlie Garner that time, and it gave the Raiders a touchdown.
So let's see if the Titans can answer again. They're down a touchdown, 2:40 to play here in the first quarter. McNair throwing. Is that intercepted at the 40? It is not. There's a marker down. Charles Woodson on the coverage. And it's going to be against the Raiders.
This is a route that the New York Jets ran against Charles Woodson last week.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Jeff Fisher said to us yesterday that Charles Woodson had at least 8 to 10 holding penalties down the field. And that is definitely a nice call by the officials. Illegal contact, putting both arms out, stopping the wide receiver.
It's still very early, but worth keeping in mind. We talked to Bill Romanowski. He said the thing about the Titans is they don't go away.
Look, you win 11 out of 12 in the NFL, you're resilient, you're tough, and you're good.
From the 32, Eddie George cuts inside, 40, and down at about the 43-yard line. It appears to have enough for a first down.
Well, you know the fact now, Eddie George got knocked out on maybe like the first play of the second half last week. And it looks like, as you watch him right now, Tom Ackerman, nice job of leading the play. But his legs look fresh. He looks quick. He looks quicker this week than he did last week.
33 yards for Eddie George. Remember, Jeff Fisher says, I'll take 40 from him today.
I think he might get it.
Robert Holcombe back into the lineup. McNair from the shotgun. Stepping up and incomplete to Derek Mason. There's our first incomplete pass of the day.
I'll tell you what, though, the Tennessee Titans, I really like what they're trying to do on offense, too. Changing plays, different formations, and Greg, like the opening, this is not the old Titans football team. They will put Steve McNair in a shotgun and just say, all right, do your thing, big guy, and he rarely lets them down. He performs very well out of the shotgun in the spread offense.
2nd and 10. This is Holcombe, and Holcombe across the 45 out to about the 48-yard line. Anthony Dorsett, the ex-Tennessee Titan, coming up to make the stop.
That's right. You talked about Bill Romanowski, Greg, and we talked to some of the defensive players. The Titans are very good at keeping situations like this, 3rd and 5 and 6, so they can throw it, and if Steve McNair doesn't like it, sometimes he pulls it down and runs for the first down.
McNair on the move to midfield. Oh, what a move. Inside the 40 to about the 36 and a first down.
Oh, I think he just gave him what's that called? The dead leg. He just gave him the fake. And Terrence Shaw, you know what makes it so tough to tackle Steve McNair when he comes down the field? Because you're a defensive back. Watch Terrence Shaw. You better brace yourself because this is an NFL fullback coming at you. Oh, that was a nice little stutter step. Just enough to make the defensive player freeze, and while he freezes, McNair runs around him.
From the Raider 37. Straight drop from McNair. Time. A bullet over the middle, popped into the air and incomplete. Batted up by Rod Woodson. McCarron's the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, I've bragged about the Oakland Raiders offensive line. Now it's turned to turn it around because it's really interesting watching this game. Both offensive lines, both defensive lines, very talented. Steve McNair, we said he's very seldom sacked, and they're doing a good job of giving him time to throw the football.
Final seconds of the first quarter. Eddie George in the face of a blitz. He makes it to the 35-yard line. Eric Barton with the stop, and with that, time winds down. Steve McNair was hit after the penalty flags flew.
False start against Tennessee. Greg, everybody saw it. Then personal foul against the Raiders. Eric Barton, you could hear the whistle.
There were fouls by both teams on the play. False start, offense number 57. There was also 67. There was also a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 50. By rule, the 5-yard penalty is disregarded. The 15-yard penalty is enforced, resulting in a Tennessee first down.
The Oakland Raiders, 129 penalties during the regular season, third most in the NFL. And 5 of them today. So this ball is going to move now to the 20-yard line. 1,094 yards in penalties. And you know, you look at it and say, well, so what? The Oakland Raiders are 12-5 on the year. True, they've advanced to the championship game, but you don't want to develop habits that may rise up and bite you at a critical time.
Greg, I think they developed those habits. It's too late.
Eddie George, Mike Green in the backfield. First down from the Raider 20. George, patient.
Okay, man, up in.
Gets
Hey, let
in
him
for 3 to the 17. Rod Woodson, John Parrella with the stop.
You know, we talk so much about Steve McNair. It's funny. It's the first time I've ever. Oh, there's Rod Woodson coming out. His left wrist.
And while and Rod Woodson looks to be in extreme pain, Derek Gibson, the second-year safety from Florida State, takes his spot on the field. Titans in the red zone. McNair gives to George, and George stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and if he got beyond it, he didn't get much beyond it. We'll give him a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, the ex-Titan, Anthony Dorsett, in on the tackle. He has really had like a breakout year. He has struggled at times playing safety for the Raiders. Rod Woodson comes in. He's kind of been a steady influence on Anthony Dorsett, and he has played very well for him, especially the last 8 or 10 games.
And the Raiders, the coaches, they say Rod Woodson is the man who has helped Anthony Dorsett improve in the secondary. 3rd and 6. Quick pass, and that's complete to Derek Mason. And Mason wrapped up inside the 15. A 5-yard gain makes it 4th and 1, and that'll bring the field goal unit onto the field.
No thinking about it. Jeff Fisher sends the field goal unit in, and can we, Greg, the thumb from Steve McNair, the thoughts that it might bother him throwing the football, that's over. He warmed up well. He is throwing it extremely well so far here early in the game.
Nedney will line this one up from 29 yards out. Through the uprights and right into the black hole. Tennessee scoring drive, and the Titans have done what Jeff Fisher has asked. They have answered both times the Raiders have scored, once with a touchdown, once with a field goal. And it's 14-10, just over 12 and a half to play here in the first half.
You know, Steve McNair, bandaged thumb, changing his grip. It's incredible what he does each week to play and play well.
This is Marcus Knight from the 7. And across the 25 and out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Raiders back on offense. Got the snap off in time, throws over the middle, Garner. Garner wrapped up as he crossed the 35 to the 36 by Peter Sherman. Rod Woodson, there he is on the sideline. Let's go back to the play and see if we can tell what happened with Woodson's wrist.
I can tell. One of his teammates, everybody chasing the football, they run into him.
Illegal shift, offense. Number 80 and 81 did not reset for a full second. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Bill Callahan, as he sees the penalties begin to stack up for the Raiders here early in the second quarter.
Well, Greg, sometimes they're just going to have mistakes like that because, again, Rich Gannon changing the play, and as you watch it, the Tennessee Titans, you always know when a quarterback's changing the play. So when he does it, they immediately are trying to change their defense to try to confuse him.
By the way, the word on Rod Woodson, left-hand contusion, is expected to return. Gannon out here on the sideline. Doug Jolley, the rookie tight end, wrestled out of bounds. Headed off the 27-yard line by Tank Williams, the rookie out of Stanford, who has been a terrific addition to the Tennessee secondary this season.
I would say so. Rookies, Tank Williams, Albert Hainsworth, a defensive tackle, have both played very well, and the Raiders continuing with the no huddle.
2nd and 11 after the 4-yard pickup. Gannon again with time. To the sideline, Tim Brown. Brown dodges a tackler at the 35. Ball is on the ground. Samari Rolle covered it, and it's Tennessee football.
This is what the Tennessee Titans were hoping for. They're hoping, Jeff Fisher had a statement or saying, we want to beat them with speed. And what he means by that, let's run to the football. When you get defensive players running to the football, somebody gets a hit. There it comes. Kevin Carter, defensive lineman, hustling to the football. The receiver's not ready for it. That causes a fumble.
Jeff Fisher on the sideline seeing exactly what he wants to see out of his team. And now it's Tennessee's ball at the Oakland 40.
That's how you beat a team with speed. Hustling, you got good athletes, don't give up. You can make the play down the field sometimes.
Eddie George. Not much past the line of scrimmage, maybe 2 before John Parrella wrapped him up.
Now, you know, you talk about the Tennessee Titans. Nobody knows much about them because they're not on national TV a whole lot, but all you need to know is they're a lot like their head coach. And it's not about winning and losing to Jeff Fisher. He just enjoys the fight. And those are the type of teams, coaches, and players you got to worry about. He's not afraid to come out here today and take whatever chances he's got to do to win it.
Rod Woodson back on the field in the secondary for Oakland on 2nd and 8. George again, and this one's going nowhere. Back to the 45-yard line. Number 57, Rod Coleman, with the first contact.
You know, Rod Coleman, like an unsung hero of this Raiders defense. A little bit undersized when you talk about the Oakland Raiders. Gets penetration into the backfield. Good job against the run, and he has 11 sacks for the year.
Now McNair and the Titans facing one of those long 3rd and 14. McNair on the move and is going to run out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. One thing about Steve McNair, he's a terrific decision maker with the football. He wasn't going to throw that one away.
Well, you know what, too? It must be a big game because Bill Romanowski held back. Because he was dying to hit that Steve McNair as he was going out of bounds.
So the Titans fail to convert on the turnover. Tim Brown is deep for the punt from Craig Hentrick. Hentrick lofts it up. Bounces inside the 10. Toward the goal line and into the end zone for the touchback. Rich Gannon, perfect in 12 passing attempts so far. Comes number 13 down the sideline. Incomplete. Andre Dyson almost picked it off.
Rich Gannon misses his first pass, and a lot of it has to do pressure on the quarterback. That's the first time I've seen Rich Gannon where he had to worry about getting hit. Albert Hainsworth, number 91, back on the quarterback.
And there's Andre Dyson, who suffered an injured right shoulder last week against Pittsburgh. Seems to be in some distress. Made a terrific play on that.
Tennessee has got, they have two very good corners in Andre Dyson and Samari Rolle. And Jeff Fisher says if you want to have a successful defense in the National Football League now, you better have 4 good corners. I mean, you want to play defense like he wants to, is aggressive, go after the quarterback, then it's even more important that your corners are good cover guys.
A former defensive back himself, drafted by the Chicago Bears. He's got a defensive mindset too, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Well, he's got a defensive attitude, and again, you know, it's amazing how teams always mirror their head coach, or they should, and both of these teams do. The Titans just try to out-hit you. The Raiders, they're thinkers and very methodical.
Damon Sidney has replaced Dyson. Gannon eludes a rush, throws, and that's complete to Tim Brown, who is wrapped up by Donald Mitchell at the 25-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 5.
Well, Rich Gannon moves in the pocket very well. Years ago, he would have taken off and just ran and tried to pick up some yards. Now, it's always about buying extra time to throw the football.
So a big 3rd and 5. Oakland facing only its 2nd 3rd down today. Gannon, quick pass on the slant. Jerry Rice, incomplete.
Well, Rich Gannon goes to Jerry Rice. Samari Rolle, number 21, on coverage, and the Titans say, hey, we don't even worry about number 21. He's always going to win the battles when you go at him.
Well, we specifically asked Jeff Fisher about, you know, do guys actually sit there and take a look and you go, wow, that's Tim Brown, that's Jerry Rice over there. And he goes, well, yeah, you recognize them for who they are, but you heard him before the game began. You don't back away.
Today's athletes, they love the challenge. They don't care about history.
Play clock wound down. That kick, which is a dandy by Leckler, will not count.
Well, let's see if it holds true. Every time a punter does that.
Delayed game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Every time a penalty.
I'm trying to figure out how far he just kicked it. It was 60 yards. Every time they boom one, they just go, oh no, I just wasted a beautiful punt. Let's see what he does to this one.
You're saying the fear is the next one may come up about 25, 27, 28 yards.
Well, not that short, but I don't think it'll be a 65-yarder or a 60-yarder.
Derek Mason is deep. Has never returned a punt for a touchdown. He says, I need a couple. From the 35. Not this time. He's wrapped up just as he gets to the 45-yard line. Guts for 60 minutes is what Tennessee is trying to live by today. And guts epitomizes their quarterback, Steve McNair. First down from their own 45. McNair over the middle, and that's complete to Wycheck, and Wycheck appears to have enough for a first down. This is a guy who has been injured all season long.
It's really incredible what he has done. He has missed so much practice time. You look at how he's been beat around today, but just continues to play well with very little practice time.
The pitch for Holcombe, left side, cuts it back inside the 40 to about the 38 or 37-yard line. Eric Barton with the tackle. And going back to those bumps and bruises, and every NFL player gets saddled with bumps and bruises, but how about wide receiver Drew Bennett? Drew Bennett says it's kind of hard to come back to the huddle and complain when Steve McNair is standing there.
Yeah, he has set a different standard for the football team. So if you get a little boo-boo, you just got to be quiet because everybody just laughs. There's Drew Bennett. They know the guy that runs this football team now is the heart and soul.
2nd and 2. McNair pulls it down, rolls to his left, throws to the sideline, incomplete, intended for Holcombe out of the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it's the first bad pass Steve McNair has had. Nobody covered Robert Holcombe. And the Titans are doing a pretty good job. They're changing formations and giving a lot of looks. And the Raiders are letting offensive receivers go down the field uncovered.
McNair, 7 out of 10 for 82 yards and a touchdown, facing a 3rd and 2. Holcombe inside the 35 and a 1st down.
Anytime it's 3rd down in a situation like that and the running back is behind the quarterback, you can expect run. The Raiders were ready for it. Bill Romanowski getting blocked by Frank Wycheck and doesn't win the battle, makes the tackle, but it's too late.
Tennessee with 69 rushing yards on the day. McNair with all kinds of time and throws into coverage, incomplete, and he was lucky, and we get a penalty marker. Another Raider penalty.
Pass interference, defense, number 91. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Reagan Upshaw dropping back into coverage.
Well, it's kind of a blitz. As you watch down the field, Anthony Dorsett is on Kennedy. Oh, he just hits. Reagan Upshaw just gets to the tight end a little too quick.
8th Raider penalty. It's helped Tennessee to 3 of their 1st downs here tonight. McNair inside the 25-yard line, and that's complete. Derek Mason with a 5-yard reception. It'll be 2nd and 5. Derek Mason was about as confident a young man as we've come across when we spoke with him yesterday.
Yeah, he was. You know, Derek Mason, you think about it, Steve McNair and the wide receivers for Tennessee. A little stoppage of play here on the field. Oh, Bill Callahan threw the red flag out.
Oakland is challenging the ruling on the field that the pass was complete.
Well, it's about a 4 or 5 yard completion. Bill Callahan has a wonderful viewpoint of this play, so I think he must know something. And that's what he knows.
The pass did hit the ground. The pass was incomplete. It's therefore 2nd and 10 on the 29. Please reset the clock to 6:34. 6:34 on the clock. Oakland is not charged a timeout.
So the Raiders still have 3 timeouts remaining. Tennessee is down to 2.
But that's good for Bill Callahan. But the bad side of it is that it takes one of his challenges away. So even though it's a short gain, you got to think about it.
Line of scrimmage, the 29. 2nd and 10. When the Raider faithful begin to make noise. Holcombe for a yard. Bill Romanowski the first to hit him.
One of the reasons why the Raider defense has gotten so much better over the year. They simplified what they do. They don't call a lot of defenses. Bill Romanowski on the tackle. But when they think you're going to run the football, they blitz. And what it does, there's just more guys up there than they can block for the run play, so you don't get many yards. Third down and 9.
McNair eludes one tackler, eludes the second. 25, first down yardage, 15 and out of bounds. Justin McCarrons came up and laid a heck of a block on Torrey James.
Steve McNair is just different than almost any quarterback in the National Football League. Chris Cooper gets his hands on him, defensive linemen grab him, and I know what they're thinking. This is one strong quarterback. Bill Romanowski said, you cannot tackle this quarterback above the waist. When you do, you just go flying off.
He said, we've been practicing all week to hit him low, wrap, and twist. Torrey James is out of the game. Terrence Shaw has replaced him on the field. McNair to throw. Out into the flat. Robert Holcombe. Holcombe diving for first down yardage inside the 10. And appears to be just a bit short.
Wow. You saw it, didn't you?
And heard it.
He just turns into a speeding bullet. Nobody covers him. They drop back. The heck with going out of bounds. Just speed up and get about 3 extra yards. What a nice changeup. 2 good running backs for the Tennessee Titans.
Second and about 1. Holcombe inside the 5 and a first down. Parrella wrapped him up. It'll be first and goal. And now we get a penalty marker. Personal foul called against the Raiders.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness defense, number 33, after the play, headbutt. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That's the former Titan Anthony Dorsett.
Well, he is, of course, playing his old teammates. He's emotional, and you think, well, not a big deal, just a couple yards. It is a big deal, because now, there was the headbutt at the top of your screen. It changes what an offense wants to do to get this close.
First and goal. Holcombe to the 3. Sam Adams led the charge. Oakland has committed 9 penalties today and has given the Titans 4 first downs via the penalty.
How about Sam Adams, Greg? We said it last week. As the year has gone along, he's just gotten in much better shape. He plays harder and he plays longer. And we've said it, watch number 95 just get off the block. And we've heard many coaches say, when Sam Adams goes all out, you cannot block him. He is just going to make the tackle.
Eddie George back into the game. Second and goal from the 4. Markers fly.
Well, that's
delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
We've been talking about the Raider penalties. This could prove pretty costly to Tennessee.
It is incredible the number of times we have done football games this year. And when an offense gets inside the opponent's 10-yard line, the quarterbacks take their eyes off the play clock. It's a mistake that you cannot have. I understand interceptions and everything else that goes in a hard physical game, but not watching the play clock when you're going in to score is, you just can't do it.
Second and goal from the 9. McNair on the move, pulls it down, 5, touchdown. Steve McNair is the quarterback, but he is another running back in the Tennessee backfield.
Well, I was just being quiet because this is it's an extraordinary play. It really is. There are guys coming from everywhere. His strength, his toughness, and he takes it right in the middle of them. What a hit.
believe we were talking about it yesterday in our meeting with the Titans. You don't see Steve McNair slide to the ground very often.
He's terrible at it too. Jeff Fisher said it right. There is something different and something special inside this quarterback.
Nedney for the extra point. How about this quarterback who is so injured he doesn't practice? 4 rushes for 40 yards, 3 first downs, and a touchdown. Neil O'Donnell throwing on the sideline.
It's just precautionary because Steve McNair, you can tell he's looking at the Polaroids, the sheets. He's fine.
Nedney's kick, Marcus Knight from just inside his own 5-yard line. 20, 30, 40. Out to midfield, and a terrific return by Marcus Knight. You think this game isn't physical? Let's go back to Steve McNair's touchdown run and just listen. Paying the price, but finding the end zone. Steve McNair has his team on top and out at midfield. There's a look at McNair on the sideline. At midfield, Joe Nedney, the kicker, is in pain. And if Nedney can't go, then the punter, Craig Hentrick, is the backup kicker.
Let's watch and see if we can see what happens to him. Number 6.
Oh, got his leg extended out in front of the ball carrier.
Well, I think what he was trying to do, Greg, I think he was trying to trip the ball carrier.
That's Craig Hentrick. Place kicking duties would fall to him. We'll be back. Joe Nedney walking off the field under his own power, albeit slowly and gingerly. You know, these Titans are kind of used to being wounded. 2:39 to play. Raiders trail for the first time today. Gannon to throw. Running out of trouble. Midfield. Wrapped up at the 46-yard line by Lance Schulters.
Well, it was a good scramble by Rich Gannon, but you could see Lance Schulters, like out of nowhere, boom, he makes the tackle, and Rich Gannon was fortunate to hold on to the football.
And Rich Gannon told us on Friday, we know this is going to be a physical game. That's what Jeff Fisher was all about. Blitz, throwing over the middle. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of the rookie tight end, Doug Jolley from Oakland. We're inside of 2 minutes. Gannon got it off, incomplete. Intended for Jerry Porter. Raiders want a flag.
Oh, no, there's no flag. That was just excellent defense by the Tennessee Titans. Good timing, seeing the football and going after the receiver. Blitz by the Titans. Rich Gannon, look at the pressure. Lance Schulters. Of course, it was closer in replay than it was when I saw it natural speed.
Phil, we were talking during the timeout. It appears that the Titans are getting a little bit better push and pressure on Rich Gannon.
They're gaining courage, Greg. They're starting to come after him more and more.
Fair catch called for by Derek Mason and made just outside of his own 10-yard line. And the Raiders have failed to register a first down here in the second quarter. And after starting 12 for 12, Gannon only 1 completion in his last 5. McNair and the Titans with 2 timeouts. Holcombe to the outside, back inside across the 15 to the 16-yard line before Charles Woodson comes up to make the stop, and we get a stoppage on the field.
Raiders going to call timeout. They have 3 left.
It's a 30-second timeout.
If they can stop Tennessee from getting the first down, they would get excellent field position.
You hear clock management talked about more and more week after week in the NFL. Bill Callahan exercising a little of that here.
You know what? You better be good at it. In the NFL, there's so many close games. If a coach doesn't manage the clock well, you're going to lose 1 or 2 games a year because of that. But that last play, Robert Holcombe, you could see he's got some speed and some quickness to get outside. And Drew Bennett came in motion and made an excellent block for him.
Well, this is a far cry from the first time these teams met out here in Oakland on the 29th of September. The Raiders jumped out to a 21-0 lead, won it going away 52-25. As we approach halftime, they trail by 3. Holcombe. Loose ball. Raiders say they have it. What do the officials say? Oakland football.
Penetration by the defensive line. Rod Coleman makes the first hit. Eric Barton knocks it out. And it looks like Anthony Dorsett falls on the fumble. What a play by Rod Coleman. When a running back spins, it must be difficult to really regain the thought of where you're at. Then when he gets hit, it causes the fumble.
And Coach Bill Callahan sees an opportunity here late in the first half. Oakland at the Tennessee 16.
I got you, babe. I got you.
Gannon, pump fake, throws over the middle, complete to the end zone. Loose football out on the ground. And it is whistled down. Jerry Rice at the 1.
Jerry Rice recovered his own fumble.
Callahan wants a timeout. Clock is still moving. Oakland with 1 timeout remaining.
And again, as you watch that, we saw the replay of that, the Tennessee Titans are closing around the quarterback more and more.
Number 32, Zach Crockette, also known in our circles as the Hammer, is in the backfield.
What do you think they're going to do? Quick, Greg.
40 carries for 118 yards and 8 touchdowns this season. Fake to Crockett. Gannon lost to the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone around the league knows you get inside the 5. If you're the Raiders, you give the ball to Zach Crockette. So Gannon fakes to Crockett, and Doug Jolley is wide open in the end zone. Janikowski is perfect. 21-17 Raiders.
The fake up inside. The Raiders, like you said, Greg, run that play so much. The defense has to be looking for the run, and that's the reason why Doug Jolley is wide open.
Rich Gannon, his 3rd touchdown pass of the day to 3 different receivers. And Robert Holcombe on the sideline. One minute to play. Oakland regains the lead at 21-17.
Well, Tennessee had what they wanted. The crowd was quiet. The Raiders were emotionally down. The good play by the Raiders defense, and that's what it was. Rod Coleman makes an exceptional play that gets it started, that causes the fumble, and now you got the crowd into it and a team that's emotionally high.
It was Robert Holcombe coughing up the ball right there.
Eric Barton makes the big hit. Holcombe was hit before he expected it, so he covers both arms, puts them both around the football. Then he gets turned around towards the line of scrimmage, takes one off. Eric Barton made a tremendous hit.
John Simon and Eddie Berlin are deep. Ball bouncing and picked off inside the 10 by Simon to the 25. Still on his feet to the 35 and out to the 37. Lost the ball. Still loose. And the Raiders have fallen on it again. Number 87, Alvis Whitted, finally came up with the football.
Simon was so careless with the football and the whole run. As he was going into traffic, you can see the football is being dangled out. Well, it's not as, it really wasn't that bad. He had it to his side, so I was wrong. From up here, it looked like he was waving it.
The Titans turn the ball over twice in 39 seconds.
The ball was fumbled on the return. On the recovery, the first Oakland player never actually possessed the ball. Oakland finally did recover it, retains possession of the ball at the dead ball spot, first down.
So the Raiders, with 49 seconds on the clock, are at the Tennessee 39, and they have one timeout remaining. The turnover's the first time they met. Gannon on the move. 35. First down and out of bounds. What a nice little move as he approached the sideline to make sure he reached the first down marker. 41 seconds on the clock.
This is as much as I've seen Rich Gannon run past the line of scrimmage maybe all year. Usually he would stay back there and look to throw the football. Fakes out Andre Dyson to get a few extra yards.
From the 25. Oakland still with a timeout to use. Gannon over the middle, Garner dropped it. Boy, how fortunes can change in a football game. The Tennessee Titans absolutely dominated the second quarter of this game. Turning the football over has cost them the lead.
You know, and everybody says, well, turnovers. Yeah, I know it's important, but turnovers happen for a reason, because a team is hitting you really hard. And that's, you know, of course they don't want to turn it over, but it was a couple good plays by the Raider defenders that ripped the football out.
2nd and 10. Gannon with time comes this side. Porter touches it. Oh, he dropped it. Bill Callahan was as certain as I was that Jerry Porter was going to make the catch.
It's a blitz by Tennessee. Again, Jerry Porter one-on-one down the field. We saw this play earlier. Jerry Porter made a diving catch to catch it early in the game. This time it's a perfect throw by Rich Gannon. Look at that. You can see too that Jerry Porter takes his eyes off the football, and that's just enough to cause a drop.
The young man in his 3rd season out of West Virginia.
Lance Schulters was hurt on the play, and since he was not able to get off the field inside of 2 minutes, Tennessee will be charged a timeout.
So each team with one timeout remaining, 31 seconds on the clock. The Raiders looking at 3rd and 10. Bill Callahan on the sideline. Oh.
3rd and 10.
He didn't see the drop, did it? You know, I'm watching him. He just took for granted.
Rich Cody on in place of Schulter. 3rd and 10. Lost the football. Gannon covered it. And the clock continues to move.
They'll let it run all the way down just to give them enough time to kick the field goal and let the first half time run out.
And the timeout is called. Stop the clock with 4 seconds to play. 43 yards out. Janikowski well within his range. Got it away. Straight as can be. The Oakland Raiders put 10 points on the board in the last 60 seconds of the first half and come from behind to grab the lead on Tennessee. And the Raiders lead Tennessee 24-17. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. And at the break, you can't think that the Tennessee Titans are too depressed about being down a touchdown, because were it not for a couple of key turnovers, they were well in control of this game in the second quarter.
Well, they had it turned around, Greg. I think the Tennessee Titans think they have found an answer to the offense of the Oakland Raiders. They had stopped at the turnovers, allowed the Raiders to get those 10 points. But think about it. They held them to a field goal in that last possession, and they made Jerry Rice fumble on the 1-yard line. So Tennessee's defense, it's got to keep being aggressive and try to cause some turnovers.
Tennessee certainly did take control of the game in the second quarter. As you look at the halftime numbers, total yards favor the Raiders. The turnovers, 2 critical ones for Tennessee. And the Raiders have registered 10 points off of turnovers so far.
Well, how are you? You ready for the second half? Because you were mad at me all during halftime.
Still am.
All right, it's all right, though. It's good. It's good to have a little friction when you work.
We're trying to match the intensity of the game. Titans will get the football first. Low roller picked up at the 25-yard line by Mike Green, and he returns across the 35. So let's see if it comes down to a critical special teams kick by Craig Hendrick. McNair to throw on first down. And that one is complete across the 40 to the 43 or 44.
Pass interference, defense number 24. The pass was complete, therefore the penalty is declined.
No, that will not be right. You want the penalty because that gives you a first down.
Automatic first down.
Charles Woodson on the outside. Yes,
Ed Hockley just corrected it.
He did. But you got to remember, Charles Woodson out there playing, not 100% healthy. He has a plate in his leg. I will say, just watch him though, he looks like he's running better this week than he did last week.
5th time tonight. The Tennessee Titans have registered a first down via an Oakland penalty. Eddie George still on his feet, and another marker flies. This one will be against the Titans. Boy, did Reagan Upshaw come out of that pile fired up.
Holding, offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's on the tight end, Aaron Kinney. I was about to say, Reagan was as fired up as he was when we saw him in the lunchroom on Friday.
Yeah, that's right. A place we spend way too much time in, but you got to go with your strengths. We're eaters. And just to clear it up, LL Cool J, ladies love Cool James.
You make a partner proud.
I know. I fill in the gaps when I can.
See you on MTV. 1st and 20. George, 40, 45, midfield into Oakland territory. Rod Woodson dragged him down. 18-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd and 2.
Well, Chuck Bresnan, defensive coordinator, I can tell he's mad, but play calling is about guessing right sometimes. Just a good feel. And that time, Mike Heimerdinger, the Raiders are thinking pass. Look, everybody's looking at the receivers. So the draw play, Eddie George, it catches him off guard for the big game.
51 rushing yards on the day for George. 2nd and 2. Eddie George again. First down inside the Oakland 45.
You know, this looks like the Eddie George of a couple years ago. And a couple years ago, he would go in, a defender would hit him, and then they would drag him down about 4 yards later. And that's the way he's running today. Fresh legs, that's what he looks like he has. He just looks faster. Maybe it's because I'm watching him in person instead of on TV.
George in the backfield, first down, the Raider 45. McNair to Eddie George inside the 40, diving to the 36. That'll be about a 9-yard pickup.
Now, I said earlier, or I said to you, Greg, I don't know if I told the audience this, Steve McNair, and I'm sure the coaches have told him, don't gamble throwing it down the field, because every time he's thrown it down the field, it's incomplete. The running backs have been wide open on those short passes. That time, Steve McNair looked down the field, dropped it off for 9 yards.
Second and short yardage. George again, left side, first down and more. Inside the 30, inside the 25, and a first down.
Well, I'm going to go back to something you said, Greg. Jeff Fisher said when the Raiders score, we got to answer. And here they come again. Watch the blitz by the Raiders. They're blitzing because they expect the run, and what blocks up front by the offensive lineman. And Mike Green at fullback, he got a terrific block on Eric Barton.
42 total yards for Eddie George on this drive. Holcombe into the backfield. McNair throwing far side of the field, incomplete. Intended for Frank Wycheck, and Anthony Dorsett broke on the football and got there just a touch too late.
Anthony Dorsett is like his father, Tony Dorsett, really fast, like real fast.
When I say too late for the interception. Got there in time to break it up.
Greg, you don't have to explain to me. We've been together a long time.
I feel obliged. 2nd and 10. Holcombe bulls his way forward to about the 22. Adams and Parrella stacking up the middle. It's 3rd and 8.
Well, it's interesting. Joe Nedney, he is not here, or he's not available to kick a field goal. So what will Jeff Fisher do if they get closer and it's debatable whether to go forward to kick a field goal? I would think he would go for it on 4th down.
There is Craig Hendrick's career, 3 for 7 with a long of 49. 3rd and 8. McNair on the move, hit from behind. John Parrella.
Coverage down the field by the Oakland Raider defensive backs. And John Parrella, all the way from the outside, just keeps working. The hustle gets him the sack.
Hendrick is on the field, but as a punter and not for a field goal attempt. Tim Brown back at his own 10-yard line. Hendrick straight up in the air. It bounces. Great numbers for Rich Gannon in 6 quarters of play against the Titans. Pass outside Tim Brown, and he's knocked out of bounds. Just past the first down marker by Danon Sidney.
First down, Raiders.
Interesting, Tim Brown, the 87 Heisman Trophy winner, number 3 all-time in receptions, number 2 in receiving yards, just 2 touchdown catches on the season, and the last TD he caught was the 29th of September against Tennessee. It's been a dry spell for number 81. for a pop over the middle. Penalty marker is down as Garner advances to the 27 or 28-yard line.
Movement by the defensive line calls the holding penalty.
Holding offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Gannon and the Raiders looking at a 1st and 20. From the 11, left side, Garner. Garner out across the 20 to about the 21. Kevin Carter with the stop. It'll be a pickup of 9, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator.
I think he's trying to keep warm.
I don't think so.
2nd and 11.
He's urging his defense on.
Gannon under the gun, got it away, incomplete. Tank Williams, the rookie safety, came right up the middle.
Blitzing to be really good at it. It's about timing. Tank Williams, number 25, is going to come up the middle. There he comes. He waits to the last second, catches Rich Gannon off guard, and makes him throw the football away. Wow, what a shot that is.
That was a great job by Gannon to get rid of the football.
That was close.
3rd and 11. 5 hurries, no sacks. Gannon this time over the middle. Jerry Rice. Rice across the 35 to the 38 and a 1st down.
Well, the Tennessee Titans, what they do, look, you can see the defenders going backwards. So when you see that, that's a zone. And when you play a zone defense against the Oakland Raiders, they are built to exploit them. They will march down the field on you almost every time if you do that. You've got to challenge them, and you've got to try to pressure the quarterback.
And a penalty marker flies.
False start, offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Another Raider penalty.
And, you know, people at home, zone and man-to-man. Zone defenders drop back. They look at their quarterback. And when you're playing man-to-man, you just get a receiver and you run with him. And the last time they played, every time that Tennessee's defense played zone, Rich Gannon and the receivers absolutely tore them apart. And, Greg, you saw it. We were watching the tape of the game, the films, and Jeff Fisher said it. We just can't do it. We'll do it every once in a while, let our defense rest. But if you try that approach, you're going to lose.
Flip out to Garner. Garner off a Middleton block across the 35 to the 36. Donald Mitchell coming up to make the stop.
And one of the big reasons why you can't use that approach is Jeff Fisher said Rich Gannon is just not going to make a bad decision. He says, you know how we're going to get interceptions? Our defensive linemen get in his way and tip it up in the air. That's what he's hoping for. Some tip passes.
Gannon on 2nd and 11. Quick drop this time over the middle, incomplete. You get the impression it was the receiver's mistake.
He is mad.
3rd and 11. The Raiders have already converted a 3rd and 12 on this drive.
Here they come again. Raises an old audible.
Incomplete. Out here in the flat, Garner close to it, and Gannon not at all pleased as he comes off the field.
Tennessee, you can just see. I know it's a gamble, because if you keep coming after Rich Gannon and these guys, sooner or later they're gonna get the big play, but it causes confusion and gets them off the field.
Derek Mason for the kick from Leckler. Fair catch called for and made at about the 25-yard line. Eddie George in the backfield as the Titans go to work on offense. McNair, far side, incomplete. Charles Woodson fell down. Drew Bennett couldn't come up with it.
I'd say you have a great opportunity if you're the Tennessee Titans. You're getting Charles Woodson at less than 100%. Try to take advantage of it.
You know, it's been par for the course for this Tennessee team to practice with Neil O'Donnell during the week and then play the game with Steve McNair on Sunday. Second and 10. Over the middle, out to the 29-yard line as Frank Wycheck, and Derek Gibson was all over him as he caught the ball. But to go back to that, you always hear about timing and how critical it is to quarterbacks and receivers. The Titans seem to do very well.
Well, you know, Greg, we talked to the wide receivers, Drew Bennett and Derek Mason, and they said what's so good and what makes it easy is that Neil O'Donnell has almost the same timing as Steve McNair. So when you practice, if you didn't know any difference, you think it's Steve McNair back there, so it makes the transition much easier for him.
3rd and 5. We get whistles and flags.
Before the ball was snapped, false start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
The right guard, Benji Olsen. You saw Anthony Dorsett, his left hand being worked on.
Following the penalty, 3rd and 10 from 25.
You know, to revisit one more time that pass-catch combination, Derek Mason, the wide receiver for the Titans, told us before this week, I can't remember the last time I caught a pass from Steve in practice. Big 3rd down facing McNair here. Gonna go deep. Incomplete inside the 35-yard line, Eddie Berlin. Berlin had a chance to make that catch.
It hit both hands. Torrey James right with him on the outside. And Steve McNair just uncorks it. Blink gets behind Torrey James. The football's in the air. Very tough for a defensive back to make this play. And a drop pass.
Tim Brown deep for the punt from Hendrick. Come the Raiders. Down at the 18-yard line. Hendrick knew he couldn't get that kickoff and held on to it.
The punt. Eric Johnson comes in and makes him pull it down. And once you do that as a punter, they had the block on all the way.
And on the Raiders sideline, nothing but jubilation as Oakland takes over at the 19.
Bob Casulo, the special teams coach, he's excited. He should be. Good game planning.
Randy Jordan into the game as a wide receiver for the Raiders. And Gannon calls timeout. Gannon flips, complete. Garner shakes one tackle, stumbles across the 15 to the 14-yard line.
From Rich Gannon, tackled by Teddy Williams. Also
It'll be 2nd and 5. 3 previous red zone trips for the Raiders, 3 touchdowns.
4 yards on the play, 2nd and 6 at the 14.
When you get turnovers, that short field helps, doesn't it? Play clock is down to 8. Gannon has to hurry. Short drop, time to throw, pulls it down, and now throws it away. Good coverage in the secondary by the Titans.
Boy, Greg, you said it. Rich Gannon got like 3 pump fakes off. And one of the reasons why the Titans didn't want to play the zone defense that we were talking about earlier, because Jeff Fisher says, I'm not subjecting my team to all the pump fakes by Rich Gannon. Because if you're playing zone and he pump fakes you, you move. So he gets you out of position, then he throws a touchdown on you. If you're playing man-to-man, you don't go for the pump fakes because you're not watching the quarterback.
Number 66, Langston Walker, has reported in as an eligible receiver. 3rd and 5, Gannon with time, end zone, incomplete. Pass intended for Tim Brown. And that'll bring Sebastian Janikowski in the field goal unit on.
Bill Callahan let us in on it. There we go. I wish I could read lips.
Sebastian Janikowski on to attempt the field goal.
He said he told us about some of their conversations last week. It was funny to hear now, or it was funny to us, and of course we can't repeat them. But
because it's just a little colorful.
Well, they're getting it.
Oh yeah.
But they respect each other, and it's not a big deal.
Janikowski from 32 yards out is good. That Frank Middleton is one smoking offensive lineman.
Did that just come off the top of your head?
That's right off the top of his head.
Yeah, that was good.
Janikowski to kick. Simon and Berlin are deep. Low bouncer. Picked up by Mike Green. And Green down at about the 33-yard line. McNair back to work with Eddie George and Mike Green in the backfield. George, nowhere to go. John Parrella led the attack.
John Parrella coming over from the San Diego Chargers. Inside, number 97. Just wins the battle at the line of scrimmage. Seven tackles. One of the reasons why he is so successful, he is in such great shape that he can just go longer and harder than the offensive lineman can sometimes.
McNair in and out of the arms of Eddie George, and Romanowski was there to cover. Parrella the play before, Romanowski here. Bill Callahan points to his veterans. Parrella on the front line, Romanowski the linebacker, Rod Woodson in the secondary. He says we get great veteran leadership from the inside out.
Well, Greg, it all starts with on the field. You got to be able to make the plays on the field before you can lead in the locker room, and all of them do both.
3rd and 13, and the Raider faithful are on their feet. Play clock is down to 3. McNair has to hurry. They get it off. Almost slipped down to throw over the middle. Oh, what a bullet across the 40 to the 44 to Derek Mason.
I think that described it pretty well. A bullet. The Raiders come with the blitz, trying to get to the quarterback. Terrence Shaw against Derek Mason, and it just sneaks in there. Boy, Steve McNair is just strong. Strong runner, and when he wants to turn it on throwing the football, he can.
Out of the shotgun, far side. That's complete to Mason. Mason looking for first down yardage, and he's right there at the first down marker.
I like this by the Tennessee Titans. I would stay in the spread offense more. Tire the Raiders, big guys out. Give Steve McNair more opportunities with the football. If it's not there, we know. History tonight. He'll just pull it down and get some good yards.
We're going to get a measurement here. It's really interesting, and you mentioned it before, how Steve McNair he described it evolving as a quarterback because of the injury to Eddie George. But he's more like the quarterback that came out of Alcorn State, where he was just throwing it all. He was Air McNair in college.
That's right. Well, he was the guy, and Greg, he really is now, too, for the Tennessee Titans. They've gotten to that. I said, boy, it's amazing, Steve, how you guys evolved into this pass offense. He goes, oh, we were lucky. We just lucked into it. And, of course, we talked about it earlier because the running game and Eddie George went down. Mike Heimerdinger, he was brought in to open this offense up, and he's done that.
Coming up on 2.5 to play in the third. McNair back under center. On the move, throw, sideline, that's complete to Drew Bennett.
You know, it's just not that easy. Good movement by McNair, but watch the catch by Drew Bennett. Sidelines, hands go out in front. Receivers, that's a good teaching point. Get the hands out in front. That way, if you bobble it, you might have a second chance to catch it.
Eddie George to about the 27. That last pass, pretty interesting. Remember what Frank Wycheck told us yesterday. He says Steve McNair throws across his body better than any other quarterback that he's ever seen.
You know, also what it does too, Greg, you know you have a quarterback that can move. So you're running routes as a receiver or a tight end, and you know by looking back he's moving. The defenders don't know it sometimes. You stop, all of a sudden you're wide open.
The Titans spread the field again. McNair under the gun, escapes and throws it away. It's complete on the far side of the field to Aaron Kinney. We keep talking over and over about what a physically strong quarterback Steve McNair is.
Well, what's going to happen? He's going to step up. He's going to get through this, but he slips. That little slip enabled the Raider defense to get him. Still strong enough to get it outside. Chris Cooper and Rod Coleman put the pressure on him.
3rd and 6. Blitz, quick pass, incomplete. Penalty marker is down in the backfield. It's going to be against the Raiders.
The Titans got exactly what they wanted.
By rule, when a player hits the quarterback and pushes him after the ball has left his hands, if the quarterback goes to the ground, it is roughing the passer. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 22. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Terrence Shaw on the outside. We get the blitz. The screen is perfect, but let's watch the personal foul. He pushes him. He goes down. Ed Hockley does an excellent job.
The fans are booing, but Ed Hockley explained by rule that's the call he has to make.
Well, we've had these discussions, Greg. If that's the rule, what do you want Ed Hockley to do? Say, well, it's a big game, it's a big moment, I'm not going to call it. So they got to do what they're trained to do out on the field.
6 Titan first downs, courtesy of Oakland penalties. Holcombe in the backfield with McNair. From the 13. McNair on the move. To the 10, to the 5, do you get to the end zone? Touchdown! We mentioned at the top of the show, McNair is the kind of quarterback who carries his team by talent and by will.
Watch as Steve McNair comes through. Nobody even sees him running the football. The Raiders were all chasing the wide receivers down the field. Jeff Fisher said, you want to play us and chase our wide receivers? Then we'll see if you can tackle number 9 as he breaks the line of scrimmage.
Drew Bennett holding for Craig Hentrick. And it's good.
Beautiful.
As you look at the numbers for the scoring drive, Steve McNair, 5 carries for 53 yards, 4 first downs, and 2 touchdowns tonight. Hentrick to kick off. Marcus Knight is deep. Nice kick by Hentrick. From the 4-yard line, Knight. 20. Out to the 34-yard line. Gannon. Outside. Nice grab by Tim Brown as he goes out of bounds.
Forced out of bounds by Donald Mitchell.
Pick up a 5. It's 2nd and 5. Gannon shouting instructions at the line of scrimmage. With time, throws outside. That's incomplete. Stops the clock with 2 seconds to play in the quarter.
Coverage on the play by Donald Mitchell.
It'll be 3rd and 5. Jerry Rice, he's had an okay career. Third and 5. Quick drop. Slant. Incomplete. Penalty markers fly. Samari roll called. Covering Rice.
Correction intended for Jerry Rice.
I think what really upsets Samari Roll is the fact that he had him covered. He didn't need to grab him early.
There were 2 fouls by the defense on the play, both by number 21 at separate times. Personal foul, hands to the face. There was number 21. There was also pass interference, number 21. The pass interference foul will be accepted. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
What it says is that Samari Roll was a busy guy on that play, and none of it was good. Line of scrimmage as we begin the 4th quarter is the Tennessee 46. 15 minutes to see who comes up against the Tampa Bay Bucks next week. You know, after a tough start, the Titans owner came down pretty hard on his head coach.
After checking the yardage, the personal foul, 15-yard penalty, was more advantageous than the pass interference. Therefore, the personal foul was accepted. Oakland's ball at the 46.
I was going to say, the Titans owner came down on Jeff Fisher, the head coach, saying that he had been out-coached in some circles, and pretty early in the season to do that. And as you see the Titans putting up a valiant fight here in Oakland today, I think the Titan owner might regret that a bit, more than a bit.
Well, either that or he thought his words spurred him on. How's that?
Garner, 40, 35, showing how quick he is. Let's go down to Bonnie Bernstein. Bonnie.
Greg, before the game, Jeff Fisher said to me, if the game's close in the 4th quarter, we have the advantage because there's so much pressure on the home team to win. It can be paralyzing. And in a close game, it's easy to panic. He said, we have nothing to lose. We have the edge.
Bonnie, thank you.
But you know what, Joe? Charlie Garner didn't look very tight on that run. So that was Jeff Fisher's thought, and Bonnie is right, that they were hoping to get to the 4th quarter, that maybe the Raiders would be tired. That's not going to happen.
Garner this time run out of bounds by Lance Schulter.
This is a different Raiders team. Couple reasons. You know, one, physically, and Armin Katea talked about it earlier, they are in very good shape, especially for a big team, which they are size-wise. And the other thing that's made them special, I think, this year, they lost 4 games in a row. And, Greg, we've been out here many times in the past. If they lost 4 in a row in the past, they would be pointing fingers at each other, and it would be an uproar. This year, there wasn't. They held it together, and they put on a long winning streak after that.
Second down, slant, complete inside the 15 to the 10-yard line to Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice against Danon Sidney on the outside. He's caught so many of these passes in his career. What he does, he just makes sure he keeps his body between the football and the defender. Nice throw by Rich Gannon against the blitz.
Garner. And Garner is brought down at about the 12-yard line by Schulter. And we get markers flying.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness defense, number 91 after the play.
First and goal, the ball just outside the 5-yard line.
Do I need to say it that was a big penalty?
Garner. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, it wasn't by much. Randall Godfrey and Carlos Hall. Boy, not only is the present a wonderful thing for this Tennessee Titans defense, but the future. How about the rotation up front of big young people?
You talked about the 1-4 start, Greg, and a lot of it had to do with the fact they had some injuries, but they were playing so many young players. You talked about them. Albert Haynesworth, a rookie. Tank Williams, a rookie. Both starting right up to start this year.
Langston Walker is eligible. Zach Crockette is in the backfield. The pass to the far side is complete. And Tim Brown is run out of bounds by Sidney.
Nice reaction by Danon Sidney. Protecting up the field first. Sees the throw and just runs through the receiver, Tim Brown. Now you talk about Tim Brown wanting to go to the Super Bowl. We talked to him this week. He forbid his wife or anybody at his house to even say the word Super or Bowl at any time. So live for the moment, win this game first.
Gannon, all kinds of time, on the run, to the 5, touchdown! Whoever was supposed to contain on the far side, it didn't happen.
The defense is not even thinking of keeping the quarterback in the pocket. Rich Gannon, more active running the football today, and what a big moment in decision. When to run that time leads to a touchdown.
Gannon, 3 touchdown passes. He rushes for his first of the day. Janikowski for the extra point. It's again a 10-point lead.
When you're defending a mobile quarterback, you've got to make sure if you are the contained man to the outside, stay there. Peter Sermon gets caught inside. Good block by Doug Jolley. And Jeff Fisher says, oh, they held him. But no, they didn't. Good reaction by Rich Gannon. Good block by Doug Jolley.
Oakland back to a 10-point lead, 11:27 to play in the fourth. Inside the 5, it's Simon to the 20, 25, forward to the 29-yard line. McNair and the Titans from their own 29. McNair over the middle to Eddie George, hit immediately, lost the football. It is ruled incomplete. It is an incomplete pass. Napoleon Harris with the hit.
Watch Eddie George over the middle. He never gains control of the football. You can hear the crowd from behind, but Eddie George, the football was moving in his hands as he got hit.
And Bill Callahan going to challenge.
The play will not be reviewed because if it were, the only possible result would be for Tennessee to have a completed pass. The ball was blown dead when the ball hit the ground. Therefore, there is no review on the play. Second down.
See, and if it was like a big play down the field, Jeff Fisher could then go, well, excuse me, he's going to throw out his red flag and say, I want the completion. So it's not long enough for Jeff Fisher to take the challenge there. Good job by Ed Hockley explaining it to Bill Callahan. There was nothing to challenge.
McNair with time over the middle, and that's complete for a first down across the 45 to Frank Wycheck.
I'm going to come back. I want to go back and play again. I want somebody to stomp on my thumb so I can go out there and throw it like Steve McNair. But Steve McNair gets Wonderful protection on the play action pass. And Frank Wycheck, when you give him the space, he likes to say he can't run real fast, but he was moving pretty good there.
18-yard pickup. Sam Adams limped off the field that last play. Pass is incomplete. That one intended for Wycheck also. Romanowski covering, and it's 2nd and 10. Sam Adams on the sideline.
Yeah, he had to get a little breather.
You know, I'm sorry, Phil. We saw Romanowski on Wycheck there, and I go back to Friday when we talked to Romo. He says Wycheck is crafty, not very fast, not a great blocker, but he gets in your way.
Was that a compliment or not? I don't know.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Also said he pushes off well. 2nd and 10. The blitz. McNair tried to get rid of it. Hockley waving his arms back where McNair went down.
The quarterback was sacked. He was sacked before he released the ball. 3rd down.
2nd Raider sack of the night.
Greg, you talked about it. You can't pull him down from up high. Watch Steve McNair, Chris Cooper, and Napoleon Harris get to him. They go down low, and you said it. Get your arms around him and twist him. And boy, what a job by Napoleon Harris. He just runs Eddie George over. He twists Steve McNair and gets him down.
3rd and 19. McNair calls a timeout with the play clock winding down. Let's see how much longer we hear this silliness about the Oakland Raiders being too old to be a winning team.
Well, I've tried to dispel that a lot.
It doesn't do any good. People still say it.
When you're old, that means you're productive in this league, and they are productive.
3rd and 19. McNair down the middle. Incomplete. Torrey James batted it away. Eddie Berlin, the intended receiver.
Boy, Torrey James, what a play. We saw him make a special play last week against the Jets. And you hear this all the time about him, that he's fast, he's tall, and he has like the longest arms that you can have for somebody his height. And watch him. Again, he just outruns the football. Oh, and if Anthony Dorsett does not come over, he makes the interception.
Tim Brown deep for the punt. Brown says, let this one bounce. And it's down by the Titans.
Armagetayan back here in Oakland. Bill Callahan said when he took over for John Gruden, he knew he was taking over an unusual set of circumstances. A team that would not stand for a 3 or 4 or 5 year plan, Greg. He had to capture this team's attention immediately, their confidence and their respect. He did so, and he said, by being a risk taker. Those risks have paid off, and he told me before the game how special it would be if he could play and coach in the biggest game of his life against the man he replaced, against the man who hired him, John Gruden. As we all know, he's about 9 minutes and 35 seconds away from doing just that, Greg. Back to you.
Thank you, Armin. And it would be an interesting situation for the Raiders to go up against their former coach. And we were talking with Rich Gannon about that very thing. And Rich Gannon says it wasn't so much losing John Gruden as the coach, it was losing him as the play caller that concerned him. Garner. Zigs and zags his way to the 45-yard line on a 1st down.
Charlie Garner is just so quick, so explosive. How do you tackle him in the open field? If you just give him some space, the offensive line makes a couple blocks up front, and it is just a lot of shaking. Frank Middleton again out in front doing a good job. I think Armagetayan, the story about Bill Callahan, he took over a successful team, and he gambled by changing to making it a passing team.
Jolley across midfield into Tennessee territory, 48-yard line. Tank Williams made the stop.
You know, Greg, if you took a team over that's successful, always you'd say, well, let's just don't change anything. Well, Bill Callahan did not take that course. He immediately went to training camp and said, shoot, he's an O-line coach. I know an offensive line coach last year. I know we can protect. I got a quarterback and some gifted receivers. Let's throw it.
Gannon up over 300 total yards on the night. Garner this way, 45, 43, first down, Oakland. And to go back to what Rich Gannon was talking about, it was interesting to hear him say that, how he really thought that he was going to miss John Gruden's play calling more than anything else.
Yeah, he wasn't quite clued in yet that Bill Callahan was going to throw it so much. So once he found out, he missed John Gruden, but he says, okay, I'll survive.
Gannon told us, I was concerned with the number of times we were throwing early in the season.
Yeah, I want to talk about that in 1 second.
First down. Gannon throwing far side. Jerry Porter. Perfectly thrown ball and a nice play by Porter.
That's what it was, a perfectly thrown ball to a big receiver. It's good coverage down the field by Donald Mitchell, but Rich Gannon throws it before Donald Mitchell can react to it. Look at Jerry Porter going up.
Jerry Porter is going to be a force in this league for years to come. Wheatley in the backfield. Wheatley with the football to the 25.
You know, Greg, we talk about the throwing of the Oakland Raiders. And Rich Gannon also said John Gruden probably didn't do it as much because he worried about Rich Gannon's health. He knew how important Rich Gannon was to the football team. Well, Bill Callahan, of course, knows that, but he entrusts Rich Gannon to throw 40 times a game, but not take the beating. In other words, get rid of the football, move when you have to, don't let yourself get hurt. And Rich Gannon does a terrific job of that.
Gannon going to flip it out here to Garner. Garner to about the 22. Randall Godfrey with the stop. Clock continues to move as we come up on 5.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. That 10-point difference go back to the tail end of the first half. 2 big turnovers led to 10 Oakland points, and that's the difference in the game.
And how things have changed in the National Football League. The Raiders, of course, they want to score, but their main goal is to manage the game, and they're doing it with outside runs and passes.
3rd and 2. Gannon throws far side, complete, first down to Brown. Number 81 has had a long dry spell between touchdowns. We mentioned earlier, not since the 29th of September has he caught a touchdown pass. But tonight, 9 catches, 73 yards, and has been every bit as big receiver for Gannon as anyone. Rich Gannon had 10 300-yard passing games this season. Pump fake. Going to throw, end zone, incomplete. Intended for Rice. Marker is down. And Lance Schulters and Jerry Porter doing a little jawing.
Before the pass was thrown, holding defense number 37. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's a good 5-yard penalty. Smart play by Dane and Sidney. Tough to defend Jerry Rice when Rich Gannon's pump fake in the corner, giving Jerry Rice time to make a move and go past you.
First down Raiders at the Tennessee 11, looking to put the nail in the coffin.
You look at Rich Gannon, you got to give the Raiders organization an unbelievable amount of credit. Al Davis brings in another veteran quarterback to take him to the Super Bowl, or hopefully to the Super Bowl, just like he did with Jim Plunkett.
And Phil, as you and I have made trip after trip out here to Oakland, we have marveled at the organization's ability to spot talent. Their drafts are almost impeccable.
Oh, well, of recent years, Greg, they really have selected a tremendous amount of quality players who are delivering on the field. That's what you want. So we always talk about these old Raider football teams, everybody does, but it's the youth of the team that catches my eye, how productive the young guys are on the field, along with guys like Jerry Rice and Tim Brown.
2nd and 6. Give it to Zach Crockette. Crockette, touchdown!
Tennessee was hoping that the Raiders would get tired and they could beat them in the 4th quarter. But what you're seeing is a physically well-prepared football team who doesn't get tired and is winning the battle in the 4th quarter.
Janikowski. His extra point is good. It's a joyous Network Associates Coliseum. On the Raiders sideline, it's jubilation. Reality beginning to set in on Steve McNair and the Tennessee Titans. The Raiders in 2 games against Tennessee this year have rung up 93 total points. Janikowski to kick to Simon and Berlin. From the 10, it's John Simon. 25. And on the sideline, Tim Brown, reality setting in for him too as he is about to realize the dream of every NFL player.
Oh yeah, Greg, we talked to him on Friday and shoot, it was hard to watch him. He just said he didn't even want to think about it or really talk about going to the Super Bowl. It was just something he's worked so hard for. So many years of catching passes across the middle. What a joy it must be for him.
Brandon Christensen being helped off the field as Jerry Rice celebrates on the sideline. Now, talk about a guy who came in with a little chip on his shoulder and something to prove that his playing days weren't over. Jerry Rice has been everything that the Oakland Raiders wanted out of him and more. McNair incomplete as his receiver, number 89, Frank Wycheck, fell down.
Yeah, the other guy too, Greg, is Rich Gannon. We've talked so much about him over the year. And I get asked all the time on radio stations and by news media people, why is it taking Rich Gannon so long to be a frontline starting NFL quarterback? And I really believe it's just this. Because he throws the ball a little unorthodox and he just wasn't that beautiful prototype, stand in the pocket guy to throw it, that teams didn't believe he could consistently get it done. Even though everywhere he's been, he's played well. The Raiders believe, John Gruden believed, and he has been magnificent.
Holcombe leveled by Napoleon Harris, who has dished out a couple of those shots here tonight. Line of scrimmage to 35. Take a look.
Well, it's swing for the fences time for the Raiders defense. Just run and just watching the expressions, just let it go because you know what the offense is going to do.
McNair on the move, gets rid of it. That's complete to the 40-yard line to Eddie Berlin, and it appears it be enough for a first down. It is. And let's not forget the job that Jeff Fisher has done in Tennessee. This team off to a 1-4 start and came down the stretch like a runaway freight train. throws. Holcombe manages to hold on and is down at the 42-yard line, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Bill Romanowski roaming the Oakland sideline. McNair going to go deep, and being held on the way is Drew Bennett. Charles Woodson guilty of the interference call. So that will advance the Titans deeper into Oakland territory.
You know what's a shame? It's a shame they don't have the 2-week chance to get
Pass
ready.
interference defense, number 24. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
One, to let guys like Charles Woodson get a chance to get healthy. But really the biggest reason why I like the break, and I know a lot of fans don't, but it just allows the players to really enjoy it, to get all the legwork done about getting their wife and their families to the game, let them get organized, let them get healthy so they can go out and really play their best football game in the biggest game of their life.
Clarence Love onto the field for Charles Woodson. First down. McNair. McNair throws, and that's complete to Bennett, and Bennett to the 15.
Pass complete to Drew Bennett.
Romanowski with the stop. Boy, I mentioned Romo. Romo told us on Friday, I truly believed when I called Al Davis I could help him win a Super Bowl. They needed help on defense, and I thought I could help him prepare and work toward that goal.
And he has. He has been a very good influence on the whole team.
To the 11-yard line, Robert Holcombe.
And you know what? To be a guy like Bill Romanowski, I know he gets talked about a lot, but to be as many years as he's been in the league, a linebacker to run as fast as he still can, the way he takes care of himself, Greg, we know it. We see it when we come to the Raider complex. So many guys on this team take better care of themselves now than they ever did in the past. It's because of Bill Romanowski.
How about all of the old Raiders that Al Davis brings back?
Yeah.
You see them roaming the sidelines before the game. We saw Darryl LaMonica downstairs.
Ted Hendricks, every week it's you get to look down there and see a different Hall of Famer from the Raiders past years, but it's that's Jim Otto in front of Al Davis.
McNair trying to get his team into the end zone again. This one overthrown and out of play. Intended for Bennett.
But it's good, you know, to go back to that. This thing, it makes it nice. It gives all the players, they know they're playing in a special place. You know, a piece of history. It's wonderful to see it.
It's very much akin to a family reunion. 2nd and 10. End zone off the hands of Holcombe. Boy, how about Steve McNair? Just outside of a minute remaining, still firing bullets. Every bit the valiant warrior in defeat.
You look at his numbers, good day. His running has been important. Tennessee would not have been in this at all if it wasn't for Steve McNair.
I think maybe in the offseason, Steve will just go to the hospital. 3rd and 10. McNair throws inside the 10. That's complete to the 5-yard line as Holcombe. And Chris Cooper with a heavy hit, and the clock continues to move. 55 seconds. 4th and 4. McNair, one last shot at getting into the end zone.
Hey, back up, back up.
Raiders dropping just about everybody. On the move, still on the move, throws incomplete. 29 seconds to play, and the Raiders' trip to the Super Bowl is secure. They won Super Bowl 11 with a 32-14 win over Minnesota. They were triumphant over the Eagles 27-10 in Super Bowl 15, and they beat Washington 38-9 in Super Bowl 18. Bill Romanowski in search of another ring. Rich Gannon in search of his first. As time winds down on our season here on CBS, we can't say thanks enough to our terrific crew. Performed admirably all season long. It's been an awful lot of fun.
It has, Greg. A wonderful way to end it. An exciting game. The Oakland Raiders, the best team in the AFC during the season, and now going to the Super Bowl.
Steve McNair, as we said, valiant in defeat. A wounded quarterback down the stretch.